Aye.
Approve consent agenda. I guess I got one question. What's the Iowa information for $50?
They took over for the Bee and Herald,
Oh,
so it's for publishing.
okay. Approve consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Aye.
Second.
Aye.
Public comments.
For the rain.
Sherry?
Say
I'm
something.
always good to go.
Old business.
Thank you, Sherry.
Vote on paying Herrick bill for use of his equipment and property during the table November 14th.
Do we want to discuss that a little bit? I want to discuss it a little bit. There's no proof that I can find any place where the council approved that. And two, I think it's a conflict of interest. And three, we could have used better judgment. We could have used north of the swimming pool area for a holding area for trees. And it wouldn't have cost us anything. Now, I'd like to vote on it if nobody's wants to discuss it.
Did it get cleaned up better than what it was when you started, or?
Well, they brought the machine down, cleaned it, yeah, they did it.
Did anybody approve it other than you? That's part of the problem. You were mayor and you said, I'll let you do this and it's gonna cost you this much, and as mayor, you approved it and nobody else was there to approve it.
For 2 or 3 things. Of course, I didn't charge for any of the other stuff, you know.
Well, nobody did.
Huh?
There was a lot of people that helped during that storm that never charged a thing.
I guess what I'm getting at, we spent $3,400 for 2 kids, both of them related to council members.
I wasn't on the council at that time, and when you had that vote to pay them, I abstained from it, but
And so did I.
they were hired by Brett.
No, I didn't hire anybody.
Then what did you do? How did you get them to come to work for?
Hey,
Wait a minute.
we're not discussing that part of it.
When I went in, there should have been a thing in there, Brett was sitting in there with Barbara Hunter, I called her 2 or 3 months ago, she says, if you need a witness, I'm there.
Who approved it? I mean, everybody could turn it in.
Who approved the other 2 kids?
The thing is we had it from sources, 2 different people, that they were hired, whether it was okayed for Brett to hire them or not, they were hired. We got that money back from FEMA. FEMA paid us that money. The city was not out anything hiring them. I was not on council at the time. Kenny was not on council at the time. So you can't say, well, you know, you were mayor at the time that the storm hit. You said, hey, go ahead and put it on my property. And there are several people who have made mention that you had stuff, other trees and debris on your property when they came in with the tub grinder before anybody started piling stuff on there. You already had stuff on there and everything was cleaned up.
That was bare. That was bare when they started piling there.
As
Could
mayor,
I keep it clean?
at that time,
Mhm.
it's a conflict of interest for you to get anything,
Okay, one more point.
all right?
In the code book somewhere, the dump was completely full, clear to the gate. We
Who
were-
said?
Huh?
Who said the dump was full clear to the
Well,
gate?
I was part of it, hauling stuff out
And
there.
so were Keith and I, and I'm telling you, they were pushing stuff back with big tractors. It was not full clear to the gate.
The tractors weren't there then, Paul, when this was done.
And they had to completely stop bringing brush in because we started that day and the next day pushing stuff back. And I don't remember seeing it clear back to the gate.
Well, why would I even do that then?
What was-
That is correct. Why
Well-
did you?
Also in the code book somewhere during an emergency, which it was, the mayor can do things like that.
For himself? I mean, obviously, if you said, hey, look, Joe Brown that has a patch of ground, it was for you. You are the one that's benefiting from it. That's the
How
problem.
did I benefit from it?
You want $200 for the use of property for the town that you are mayor at. That's how you're going to benefit.
I still think when there's two boys got $3,400 and that was in dire need, and me charged 200, plus Brett was there when I put a whole list. Wrote a whole list of everything we did, and that was, come down to that, I said, except when it comes to that, we pile there on
Okay.
$200.
So even Brett's out of this,
Right.
Okay.
So is Barbara.
right? So, and you have those two people that said, that were there, would testify that you turned in a bill. Who approved the bill? Who approved it other than the mayor, and you're the mayor, and that's the conflict of interest.
You should have seen that when you went through all the bills up there of everything.
I seen a lot of things that, there, and those two boys that you're talking about, almost 2 years getting paid.
Does anybody else have anything here
Was
that wanna,
was that approved?
what?
The two boys, was that approved?
Yes, it was approved, and it was,
After the fact,
and we, as a council, voted to pay them. I abstained when it was my grandson. He abstained when it was his son.
right, but
And-
you still did it, $3,400.
So you can abstain from this vote and we'll see how it goes. How's that? Because you can't vote.
No,
Right, I didn't vote when it was Joby. He didn't vote when it was Brian, so that makes it fair. You don't get a vote on this.
Well, the other thing is, why wasn't this north of the swimming pool used? What is it, 3-4 acres there, 5? Could have been all put in there.
it's always, you can always figure it out after the fact. At the time, we were hunting places
You
hard.
weren't hunting very hard.
Obvious.
Huh?
You weren't hunting very hard. You know,
You had to actually haul it further.
all we can do is vote on it and council's decision is what we go with. I don't know what else to tell you, Jerry.
I make a motion to vote on Jerry's thing here. I vote no.
No,
Somebody want to second it?
I'll second it.
No,
Nope.
No,
Advertise and vote to hire someone to help with the mowing for summer. Jake,
well, Rod's gonna have a lot of trees and potholes to fill this spring for a while. It's gonna take him quite a while to do it. And I think you gotta consider hiring somebody to take over some mowing details for a while. Trimming trees and, or weed eating and mowing. So I make a motion that we advertise somebody to do some mowing.
On an on-call basis.
On an on-call
We
basis.
decide when we need them. Do we know anything, what we're thinking we might want to advertise to pay them?
I don't know what we have to advertise, what we want to pay them, but we just advertise we need somebody, we can see
Okay,
through the. Yeah, I think there's a couple retired people that might be interested.
there might be some kids too that might, be interested. So we're advertising for, just so everybody is clear, that's watching on the TV land, we're advertising for mowing and weeding, both of them.
And that's just a PRN basis, no
Yeah.
set hours, no set.
By the middle of August, we might not need anybody, and there's no other benefits with it, it's just that.
and they will be using our mower.
Yes, our mower, our weed eater. So you made a motion,
Yes.
I will second.
Aye. Aye.
Have you talked to anybody at all?
No.
Vote to run, add, and hire swimming pool lifeguards, pool manager, and pool assistant manager.
Yes, we need to get going on this, so we have staff to run the pool, and, we just need, I just make a motion that we run an ad to get some applicants in here.
Where do you want to run the ads?
I'm sorry,
Where do you want to run the
well,
ads?
we'll do a Facebook push, we'll do it on our site, and I'm guessing we'll do it at as many places as we can.
Jefferson, Ogden, maybe Perry. And we had talked too, like maybe, some adults might wanna just be, lifeguards also.
Can we put that on Facebook, that we're looking for
Do they
volunteer
have,
lifeguards?
do they have to be certified?
They have to be certified, and Jefferson will help us get people certified for that. I've already called them, and at the end of March, first part of April, they'll be looking into that. I think that's what he told me, so we'll know.
And if we were thinking if we got some adults that wanted to become certified, like we would pay for the certification, let them sign, come up with an agreement that you will work X amount of shifts this summer. Hours or something.
Yeah.
That it would, that way, I like the idea that there's always almost an adult there. Not that there hasn't been, but sometimes there's just kids running there. And I think having an adult is a step in the right direction. So,
That may also let us keep the pool open later into the year. Once the kids start back to school, then they kind of don't wanna.
once sports get started, and I get it.
Does
So,
does the pool manager have to be a lifeguard too, or just?
not necessarily,
not
Yeah.
necessarily?
not necessarily.
Somebody who could run the.
Doesn't have,
office.
they have been, they don't have to be. I know in the past, we've gone both, it's been both ways, so
Is any of these kids gonna have CPR training?
That's,
part of the lifeguard training. You have to be CPR certified, and if you're gonna be a lifeguard, you have to be lifeguard certified.
Okay.
So that's part of it. So I make a motion, we run the ad and see if we get some staff there going.
Second,
Aye.
I,
Vote on approving alcohol license for the fire department. Mickey?
The fire department's gonna have their fish fry again, the last Friday of the month,
Yeah, the 31st.
and.
No, yes, the 31st, sorry.
And so, they'd like to sell some beer, and I don't blame them, I'd like to drink some beer.
don't care about the fish, just want to drink the beer.
there.
No, actually, the fish is very good.
Yeah,
It is good.
Last year was
Yeah.
really good.
So, I move that we go ahead and give them a alcohol license for the one day.
I second it.
I,
I,
Discuss and vote to approve 28E agreement with the city of Dana. Paul?
yes. The city of Dana, we've been waiting for their 28E agreement, and she just dropped off one that was dated 12/7/22 that we never got. I didn't have a chance to look this over, but the 28E agreement that we have, I don't know if it, way back, they paid us a little bit of money to have the fire protection. And it's my understanding that they have a water tower up there, which it lists in here, a standpipe water tower to obtain water when we need it. And we put in there that you have to maintain the water tower and keep it filled. And so, otherwise, gave everybody a copy of the new agreement, and if that's agreeable with them. I can't lay my hands on mine. It's-
One thing,
Yes,
that's rural water, not
No,
oil.
no, it's
the other
Yeah,
thing that
so-
you might wanna think about
Yeah.
is when Jules is, spraying, he's gonna be using that too, probably, the water out of that tower.
Or does he use most of it come from down here?
No, I think he uses
yeah,
that tower.
oh,
for-
here's the new one. That's the new one.
Are
But
we right on the tower? Are we right on the tower being this, it's not Iowa,
It's not
real
seen
water?
yet.
No, it's not
The
seen
town
It's all Zambia.
residents have seen yet,
okay,
but the water tower is separate and it's the old well water, what you call it.
okay,
That just means they have to maintain it to keep it working right, so we can. use
yeah,
it.
and then we can use it whenever, and this, the old one actually says, when the weather makes it feasible to obtain water, I don't know what that means
Well,
exactly,
I
but,
think
I
it's
think
kinda
once it
hard to
gets-
get back in there, I think.
oh, so once the snow flies,
Right.
so,
When it gets cold, I don't think you can keep water, I don't know. They can, think you can keep water in for the freeze.
Just
maybe.
that-
go ahead, Brett,
Yeah,
tell
Brett,
us.
what,
That's exactly right. So, I mean, that's always been their understanding. In the wintertime, they drain it because it will freeze and break.
Oh, okay.
It's just,
So
It's not-
otherwise,
it's
as
not enough
long
volume,
as
then.
long as we can get to it and use it, that's gonna be the
Usually-
payment for
weather's
covering.
perfect.
so Billy Ritchie's kind of the one that takes care of that up there.
Okay.
Usually if it's like the first week where it's below freezing, he drains it, winterizes it.
Okay.
And then usually if we have, let's say the 10-day looks like it's gonna be 40s and 50s, they'll fill it back. So probably about April
Okay,
is when it'll be fully in.
but you guys are used to that
Oh, yeah, yeah,
always,
yeah.
so,
And tell me, even if there's not a fire in Dana, can you fill from there for like other fires? I'm
Oh,
not,
sure.
I mean, I realize you're not gonna come from
Yeah.
Scranton,
If it's
you know,
close,
but I
for us
mean,
to
if
go to
it's
Dana,
close, you'll.
We'll send a
fill-
couple trucks there, send a couple trucks back here.
Gotcha,
Yep.
okay.
because otherwise we end up draining this one.
We have done that multiple times, yes.
And so that works out good for both people, no
Yeah, it
cash
works
change hands
It's better for
and,
the city. I mean, we don't drain the tower, people don't get mad.
right,
No.
And we're
Okay,
happy to make a donation too, because we realize that we're dependent on this too in
Right.
Dana, and so we're happy to make a donation. So even though it might not be an agreement, you'll probably see that come
okay.
in.
Well, any donations that are made in regard to that, I guess, need to come to the city now, and then it goes into the, fire department funding of that, so we're all in agreement, and that works, so feel free to donate to our fire department anytime.
All the time,
All the
time.
Anytime you wanna write a check, we're good.
Before we get up and go, I apologize that we're leaving in the middle, but we have a daily meeting that we need to get to.
No, that's fine.
If we
Thank you
leave, That's
for-
why we're leaving. so.
And so, does somebody need to stop here and sign this copy? We can give you, it's not the one that you gave us, we
Sure.
changed the
Yeah.
wording just a little bit, you're free to read it, and then if you sign it, we can email you
Yeah.
a copy.
Yep, thank you. And Emily can sign it tonight if you want her to, and you can have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Mandy's the mayor, she'll need to sign it.
Yep,
So,
and so if they're in agreement with that, and I make a motion that we go with this agreement and go with the
do you want
28th.
us to just drop it back off and then?
Okay, no, I was just gonna say, that doesn't seem to work very well for whatever reason. Do you know when you'll be bringing it back?
Could I?
Today, tomorrow, what are you thinking?
I could drop it off tomorrow.
Because what time do you
Tell
get?
me. 8:15. Yeah, I could drop it
I
off.
mean, if that time doesn't work,
Yeah.
that'll work perfect, then if you'll just drop it off at our, come on in and drop it off at
Yeah,
our.
I'll do that.
Yep, that sounds great.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I make a motion that we go ahead and sign that E28 agreement, get it
Second.
passed.
Aye.
Do the trustees then have,
The
fee that the trustees set up that they paid, does that come to Grand Goshen now?
Washington Township, Laura and I are meeting with them tomorrow night, to set up, figure out what they're wanting to pay and what we're thinking, then we have to bring it back to the council to get it approved. Same way with, Rippey is wanting to set up a 2080 agreement with us, and Junction Township, and then, Grant Township and
Hardin.
Hardin. I think that they are agreeing to do this at least for now. So none of these have been settled.
But you'll know more tomorrow night.
Yeah, and we'll know more hopefully by the end of the week. The attorney's checking into it.
Discuss our employment bereavement policy and vote on resolutions 2023-3-13-23 to change the policy.
I guess our current policy states that an employee gets 1 day of paid bereavement, and then he can take up to 2 days off without pay. And Rod's dad just passed away a week or two ago. I'm sorry, my days have gotten away from me, but 1 day just does not seem appropriate, and we're not looking at 15 people. We're looking at, a couple of employees. So I think that probably 3 days is a fair amount. Does anybody else have?
I agree, in Des Moines, it was standard that you got three paid days.
Okay,
It
so,
takes at least 3 days.
And it just is, and we're gonna keep it includes immediate family members, spouse, children, grandchildren, parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, sister-in-laws, we're not, and that's, we're including that 3 days.
if that seems okay, I'll go ahead and make a motion. And along with this, because we had never had a reason before this to really look over that policy, I think that we should make it back to include Rod's.
Yeah.
Start the
when-
first of the year.
No, I don't wanna go back that.
What, the thing is, okay, so, I'm sorry, what day did your dad die?
Last Monday, right?
Yeah, I believe so, last.
Well, that was the 6th,
That was the 6th?
so if we go back to March 1st.
Well, if March 1st will cover it, then let's go back to, make it retroactive back to March 1st, that we change it from the 1 day to 3 days paid bereavement.
I'll second that.
I,
Department reports. I think Rod's doing a good job on the streets. Doing the trees and everything else. Otherwise, I don't have anything else. I haven't heard any more on the sewer with Dave Lean.
Yeah, I haven't
So,
either. I'm just waiting.
council have anything?
I do, I've got a couple of things. Our contract with Walters for garbage pickup comes up for renewal in May this year. And as a single person who recycles, my container, maybe 2 or 3 times a year is full, otherwise it's about 25 to 33% full. I don't wanna pay the same amount that other people are paying, where it's overflowing and they've got another container that's not Walters. So I would like us to look into visiting with him to see if there's anything he can do to give some of us a price break that recycle.
Just a second, if Walters, if you have the Walters, and
And
then you have another container of whatever, don't they charge you extra?
I don't know, that's something we need to look into and find out. I know if you've got 2 containers, you get charged for 2 containers. I will give him credit that he didn't come over when gas prices went out of sight and ask for more money. So he's kind of eaten that. But I'd like to see, we've got that recycling bin, and I'd like to see
Do you know, what, we signed a 1-year contract with them?
3,
A 3-year, okay.
which is pretty typical.
Do you want to check in with Walters and
Yeah.
see what the story is and
Yeah.
report back to us next month?
Yeah,
'Cause I would guess there's
because
more
based on-
people in your position than
Yeah.
not.
in Des Moines, they had 3 sizes of toters, so if you got the smaller toter, he didn't pay as much. Now, that's an added expense if he wants to get smaller toters. So I kind of want to try and do whatever costs him the least amount of money, but,
Well, I would say, look into it and bring us some ideas, and we
okay.
also need to figure out who establishes that, who's going to base it, because, I mean, there's two of us, but some days, like, I'm clean happy and I have a whole trash bucket full, and then sometimes not as much, so.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of people that don't recycle at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also about the manhole cover, we're gonna have to buy some extenders and buy some manholes.
Okay, just a second. You're in agreement that you'll check into that
Yeah,
for us,
yeah,
Mickey,
yeah.
and
I'll
report
call
back.
Walter.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, Kenny, sorry, I just wanted to make sure.
Did she have something else? Did you have two things?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I didn't get a grant in time to Greene County, so I looked outside Greene County and I applied for a grant for $46,000 to replace the sign out here. I had contacted the guy that came up and did the demonstration. I had him update the prices. And if not,
This sign here.
replace that, and it's just under $46,000. And so, this grant that I wrote, I didn't find it, Diane Caper found it. And she told me about it, and, so I applied Saturday, and we should know in May if we get it. And if we do, we'll still be, responsible for running electrical out there, so we'll have to figure out how much that'll be and stuff.
But Mickey, Green County gives us a check, I don't remember how much we got this year. I'm gonna say 40, it might be
I know.
40,000, and they like that we do projects with it. So that, if you get that money, that would be fabulous to use
Yeah.
part of that for that.
Yeah,
So
well,
we
that's
got,
great, because
so don't feel like you have to go find another grant. I mean, if you do, that's great, but we have got to use some of that money on a project.
okay, that's wonderful then, because they might give you the entire amount and they might just give you some of it, so. So anyway, now I'm finished, Kenny.
Okay.
But stop, thank you, Mickey, for applying for that, because I think that needs to be replaced, that was one of the things.
Yeah, well, we've had other things.
We have, but thank you for delving into that.
We're gonna have to be buying some manhole covers and some risers, and unless we find some better prices. I found a 1/9" riser was gonna be $300. And we're gonna need a 12" one too, and we'll probably be needing more as time goes along. But a manhole cover in itself is $375. Then if you gotta put a riser with it, and then if you gotta put somebody to come up there and help do some welding around it, you're gonna have a considerable amount of money in just manhole covers. There's some that definitely have to be done.
Okay, question.
And there's one manhole that I think is gonna have to be looked at. I think it's deteriorating. And it's up by NC Plus.
Okay.
It's actually caving in.
That's not good. Question, did we ever get that manhole cover from Hoffman Brothers?
I don't know, I don't have any dealings with them.
We could, I think that we did get one
finally
or
got
two.
the
Do you
one.
remember, Brett? We got two.
That we
Okay.
were waiting
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Kenny,
Riser or manhole?
Risers.
Two risers.
Kenny, do you have a place that you got these prices?
I use Brown Supply, which we gotta check a couple more places. But Brown Supply is not owned by Brown Supply anymore. Some company out in South Dakota owns the two businesses that guy had. He's the same guy that come up and used to help us with some fire hydrants.
So with that being said, can you check into
We are,
the
but
prices?
we can't put them in now anyway.
Right, but
But-
check into it and come back to us.
Right, I just wanna let you know, to
Yep.
kinda give you an idea what that's gonna cost. And the one that's like a foot down, or even the one that's 9 inches down, if we tear up all of that road, you're gonna have a hole there the size of a pickup. So we're just gonna try to go over the top, set one over the top of the other one, weld it down, or secure it with the other one on top too. So you know, it's actually costing us an extra manhole cover because we're gonna leave the one in place, just take the lid off. I don't know unless there's some other better way of doing it, I don't know. Unless you wanna hold the size of a pickup, just to get down to where you're at, and
Well, that doesn't seem like that's the best way to do things, Kenny. We
I-
don't need whole.
maybe somebody's got a better idea, I don't know. I'm not,
Do you need, you're saying you'd have 2 manhole covers?
you're gonna have the one that's originally there that's 9 inches down, another one's down a foot. And then you dig around them, and then you're gonna set that riser in there and secure it. Or you're gonna secure the riser on the new manhole and set it down there and then do some welding.
Well, if you put the riser down, take the lid off the one and weld the riser to the other one, you won't need that other one, will you?
Well, it just
Yeah,
sits on there in place of, the riser just sits there in place of the manhole.
Well, most of the risers that are installed have little square patches that hold them in place.
But they aren't welded in, are they?
No, but I don't know how you're gonna keep that in.
And then you put the regular manhole back on top.
Well, the thing is, to dig that manhole up and get it out of there, you're gonna have one hell of a hole. You're gonna disturb all the ground around it.
You just dig right straight over the manhole.
Well, if
Cause
you-
you shouldn't. Cause every time you get, he'll tell you, it's hard to dig them up in the winter time.
Oh, we know that.
I'm not that familiar with it, but you would think you wouldn't need both manhole.
Well, you gotta figure out some way of doing it without tearing a hell of a hole in the ground, because that's never gonna,
Yeah, if you just go out, say 6 inches around it.
what's that?
Dean found that last one.
Yeah, that's a foot down,
Yeah,
a full foot,
yeah.
and the one across the highway is 9 inches.
My arm's filled
North of the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
Once you order these from Ground Supply also out of South Dakota or whatever, do they bring them here and put them in?
No, it costs, you have to go to Iowa Falls to get them, and it's another $100 to $50, it's either $50 to $100 to go, to have them send it to you, or you go get it. So you
It
just
only
have,
it gets ordered, then it gets sent to Iowa Falls, and we're responsible for getting it.
well, I don't know if Iowa Falls does the cutting of the extension or not.
So we would have to pick it up in Iowa Falls.
The problem is, there's none of them are the same size. You almost gotta have,
And you don't have to be exact science there either, because you're gonna have a little fluctuation up and down with the road changes, so.
So we can figure out how to go and pick them up.
That won't be a problem, I mean, yeah, maybe my boy could bring them down on the trip, I don't know. But the thing is, maybe the cheaper way of doing it, we're still gonna check out Cooper and another place, the guy down in Cooper,
Oh,
Monty,
Monty, that the parking's not a problem.
are they made of steel?
Yeah, they have to be. You gotta take
What
all
about,
the way
what
to the,
about Bauer?
I don't know if Bauer does that.
He can do just about anything.
Well, yeah, we've gotta get prices, we've got plenty of time, but I just want you to know that it's coming up.
hey Kenny, I think that maybe talk to Dean about some of this too. He maybe has some thoughts that would be beneficial to this situation.
Yeah, I don't really wanna buy another manhole cover, cause they're $375.
I really don't wanna have an empty hole or have like we had at the school for, was that a year or whatever, that was
I'll
empty.
tell you another master welder, Kelly Rice.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, you should ask him over Jeff.
So
Well,
we
it's-
need at least 2.
Well, we're gonna have 2 or 3, so we have a good idea. But it's gotta be steel that will take, it's gotta be good steel, I mean, it's gonna take all the weight. You know, all the semis that drive over the top. But I think that manhole up by 19th Street is starting to crumble.
We Brett, we put a lot of extensions in, haven't we?
Yeah.
Lots.
Anything else, Kenny? We'll let you
No, but.
do that and get back
You're
to
thinking
us.
all these projects you got going on, here this for 40,000, here this for this, but you can't imagine what it looks like it's gonna take to get these streets back in any kind of shape this year coming, because they're just literally falling apart.
Yeah.
Up there by where the Moranville's is at, and Thompson's there, from, Cummings's corner clear back to the highway, all needs to be a patch put in like we did down by Casey's there. That'd probably be 10 or 15 grand just for that patch. You're, there's a whole bunch of other places too. We got one right out here in front of the fire department. Just, you know,
All we
that's-
can do is try.
and if we're gonna try to put any fire hydrants in, we gotta think about that too.
Right.
And then they're not gonna be cheap.
Rob, you're up. Anybody else for
Wait,
council?
Laura had something, go ahead.
What was I gonna say?
Okay, I'll say
Yeah,
something, I'll go ahead.
no, I'm-
First of all, for anybody that didn't know, we did get the playground equipment itself, the product was delivered, and we had the help of the light plant. Jake was down there, I was there, and then Keith was there, we got that all unloaded. And I just want everybody to realize too, that all of that was paid for by insurance from the playground equipment that was damaged during the windstorm. Grove Green County grant paid for a lot of that, so we owe them a thank you. The supervisors who handle the ethanol plant, Louis Dreyfus grant, they gave us money for that. So it's a lot of money, but it's all paid for. It's been waiting for that. When I asked them when and we're paying to have it installed, then it's a lot less headache. We unloaded 126 pieces that seemed like Kenny was down there too. I'm sorry, I forgot you, Kenny. But it seemed like 800 pieces, and we're hiring it put together, and they said possibly the end of April, but realistically in Iowa, we're looking more toward May. So hopefully by May.
So
we'll
where
have it
is
done.
the equipment right now? Is it in the park?
It's beside on the east side of the,
Like,
Light
light
plant
plant
locked up.
building,
Okay.
yeah, in a locked area.
and one of them's across the street in the locked area.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Another thing, we are meeting with some of the townships to get this, the agreements established so that we have more money for our fire department. The budget will go up for them because we'll have more help in furnishing with that. So we'll keep you posted on that. The last thing that I have, you might want to tell about these. The last thing that I have is the 144 CHI application forms can now be gotten. This, we have these brochures that tell about it here in the office. Otherwise, right across the street at People's, they have the applications, and I don't know when they're due by
16.
Of April?
of April. Oh, so you'll want to get right on that. But anyway, so these are available now for anybody that is interested in that. That's all I have.
We have been granted Green County Community Foundation grant, for our swimming pool accessories, which include lifeguard chairs, and this, like the handicap stairs to get in. $6,635, so we got that. Also, we got our, tractor accessories, we got that money approved. And that was $6,832, so that was both from the Green County Community Foundation, which is great.
So
Thanks for reminding
thank
us.
you.
Got that, so
And
that's.
thank you to them for
Yes, thank
sending us that. And we're hoping with the stairs down into the pool, that then this year maybe we can have an adult swim time before open swim for the kids, that we can get some aerobic stuff going there, and that maybe we'll just have a variety of people that will find it easier to get in and out of the pool. So
You say that the Easter egg hunt's gonna be in April when?
I didn't say.
I thought it was in here someplace.
It's in the fire report.
Oh, I was gonna say, I didn't see that.
Are we gonna try to have the bathrooms opened up by then? That's fairly early in April.
I have to say, I usually don't go to the Easter egg hunt because it's just embarrassing to go scrambling around the candy.
But just a second, it'll be at the schoolyard.
Yeah, it'll be in between the basketball court and the shooting playground.
Can we set a time though to open the two bathrooms, both of them this year at the same time?
Whatever time you want them open.
Or every time, you know, it's not freezing, but they need to be there for the public.
Okay, well, I'm for you talking to Rod about that and figuring that.
Yeah, when you feel like it's warm enough and it needs to be done, have it done.
I just almost, I hate to see kids not have a bathroom, but it's pretty early in April for the Easter egg hunt. We might have to wait on that.
Right.
I'd say if it's, weather gets to be decent, get it.
And I think it's the 8th of April or something like that.
Yeah, but get those bathrooms open.
Okay, and, did you get a hold of, Jefferson over there and be able to send them some stuff too, so that you can?
I'll go, yeah.
Good, okay. Okay. I guess that's, I didn't have anything else, anybody? I guess Rod was up next, you said.
I never did check, but I told you about them kids being on that roof down there. Is that our building, or Jefferson's building, or whose building?
It is not our building at this time. It's my understanding it's not our building at this time.
And
So,
Paul put the scare of life in him the other day when we was offloading that other stuff. Didn't you, Paul?
kind of,
Oh, were they down there again?
well, there were 2 little kids there throwing rocks at the
Throwing rocks
building,
at the
so
building.
I explained that there happened to be 3 city council members, 2 light plant people, and an extra person there watching him do that, and so I requested that they not do it again, because if the building was damaged, we were going to.
Did you call to them? Like
No, not too much.
You should see the footprints.
Yeah. Let's just say I'm sorry, before I ever got there, so I must have not looked excited about it.
You didn't have anything like
No.
library, fire department?
Pancake breakfast at the end of the month, or pancakes.
I was gonna say.
The fish fry.
What?
The fish fry, pancake breakfast at the end, the fish fry, 31st, please come out, 5:30 till we run out of fish, so.
I'll be there. How many people did you have last year, just for curiosity?
Oh, I think we figured right around 250.
Or how many pieces of fish did you serve?
Oh, we lost count. 'Cause we ran out and got more,
I'm
so.
sure.
Same fish as you had last year,
Yes. I believe it is. Same guy's gonna cook it, so.
same guys doing it.
I got a motion.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Aye.
I,
Is there a change for every catfish?
Yeah, you bet.
Right.